Welcome to the enchanted world of stories under the stars. Written between Florence and Los Angeles by Lucia and Marco Ciappelli. Originally in Italian, available to read and listen in both Italian and English. Join us under the stars, where mysterious storytellers reveal enchanted worlds filled with heroes, curious beings, lost lands, strange encounters, and adventures that stretch across time and imagination, and stories that unfold where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. Some stories are light and playful, perfect for a smile and a spark of wonder. Others go deeper, written also for those who may have grown up, but never stopped imagining. Each tale is a little universe waiting to be explored. Open your mind. The journey begins. Where has Santa Claus gone? Once upon a time, there was Santa Claus's village, but Santa Claus wasn't there. He had been missing for days and days, actually for months. Who would prepare and deliver gifts to the children as they did every year? That part of the North Pole, which was usually very busy, had become strangely silent. Not an elf could be seen around, no sounds of bells, the sleighs were covered in snow, and all the reindeer dozed about confused. If you looked into his house, you couldn't see a trace of life. The fireplace cold, the rocking chair covered in cobwebs, an empty cup on the wooden table, and a candle stub burnt out long ago. Many were the rumours that had spread about Santa Claus's absence. Some said he was on another planet in a far, far away galaxy, some on the moon, some on the vast oceans, and someone even said he had opened a bakery in Buenos Aires. The mystery was thick, nobody could make sense of it, and everything was silent and still. Meanwhile, many miles away, in the southern seas, a group of seagulls who spent their days fluttering above the bay spotted a small sailing boat in the distance. There was only one sailor on board who was hoisting the mainsail up the creaking mast. The eldest seagull couldn't believe his eyes. He did a couple of acrobatics in the air, pulled out his spyglass, looked more carefully and said, "But I know him. That sailor comes from distant lands." Turning to the other seagulls, he told them, "One day, during one of my long journeys, I lost my way and found myself on the frozen rooftops of a village at the North Pole. I landed right on the house of that long-bearded man you see on the boat. He heard me calling for help, came to fetch me, fed me, and told me about his work. I think this meeting has something magical about it. Our next adventure is about to begin." Gliding down, they headed towards the boat and all landed on the bow. The seagull and the sailor greeted each other like old friends. Shortly after, a group of dolphins arrived near the sailing boat, curious. They swam in circles around the boat, jumping out of the water. The youngest dolphin noticed something strange. "Look, wood shavings are coming out of the hold and floating, and you can see little lights below deck." The long-bearded sailor smiled. "Come," he said in a warm voice. "I'll show you what I've done all these months." He opened the hatch to the hold, and inside, by the light of 2 swaying lanterns, you could see a floating workshop full of wonders. With a sharp plane, he had worked pieces of wood recovered from the sea, transforming them into toys. And he had done the same with shells, coconuts, cork stoppers, glass bottles, starfish, and golden threads that had arrived from who knows where. "I travelled to learn new ways of bringing joy," the sailor explained, "but there's so much work to do, and Christmas is coming. Would you help me finish?" And so they all set to work together. The dolphins brought special shells from the bottom of the sea. The seagulls gathered coloured feathers. The objects transformed into gifts were placed in large canvas sacks. The days passed quickly. On the 1st of December, the captain, wearing his red warm hat with his pipe in his mouth, looked at the starry sky and said, "It's time to leave." The dolphins lifted the sailing boat until it rose above the waves. The sails filled with wind and it took flight, whilst the flock of seagulls guided it through the clouds following dreams. Together they continued the journey heading north, flying through the endless blue. Night fell quickly, and in the sky full of stars one shone brighter than all the others. It was the North Star, which with its light accompanied the sailing boat's descent to Earth. By magic, as it approached the village, the sailing boat transformed into a sleigh loaded with gifts. The presents built in the hold arrived in the workshop to be delivered together with all the other parcels. When it landed on the roof of his house, a tinkling of bells was heard in the distance. The elves looked out of their doors and shouted, "It's him! It's him! It's Santa Claus! He's back!" The red-nosed reindeer woke up suddenly and began polishing the sleighs, decorating them with bows and coloured pine cones. Life in the village awakened all at once. The tree branches shook as if they were being tickled. A group of penguins who had arrived at the North Pole to lend a hand, sliding on the ice sheets at great speed, ended up inside snowdrifts and came out like bouncing balls. "You are so funny, we'll hang you on the Christmas tree as decorations," the village animals shouted. But the penguins, freeing themselves from the snow, ran towards Santa Claus's house to help with the preparations. In the village, absolutely everyone got moving. The reindeer rushed to the post office and filled the sacks with letters, then carried them to the workshop. The elves, with the help of the penguins, were ready for work. That morning, when the bells rang out in celebration, foxes, squirrels, hares and bears came running from every corner of the forest to celebrate Santa Claus's return. There was so much to do for the joy of all the children in the world. The air smelt of fir trees and homemade biscuits. The Christmas trees sparkled with icicles like stars. The animals chased each other happily with their noses turned upwards. The preparations began in earnest. Throughout the month of December they worked together, saws that sang, hammers that played, coloured paper that flew. Santa Claus told stories of his journey whilst he hammered and sanded, and when the 24th of December arrived, everything was ready. The presents were loaded onto the sleigh, and Santa Claus set off on his most important journey. The seagulls flew away towards new horizons, leaving their footprints on the snowy rooftops. Since that Christmas, it is said that Santa Claus never left the North Pole again. What if it was only a tale? Is it true or not? The final decision is yours. This story was written by Lucia and Marco Ciappelli for Stories Under the Stars. We hope you enjoyed this magical journey with us. You can read this story and explore many more enchanted tales in both Italian and English at storiesotolestelle.com. If this story sparked your imagination, please like this video, share it with fellow dreamers, and subscribe for more stories from Under the Stars. Until we meet again, keep your heart open to wonder and your mind ready for magic.